Hi, and welcome back. Negative commandments can be less exciting than positive commandments, but they are commandments nonetheless. We have two negative commandments today: not to eat Chametz on Passover, nor to eat a mixture of Chametz on Passover. Let's take a look inside. It is a negative commandment to eat no Chametz on Passover, as Scripture says, and no leavened bread shall be eaten. It is even forbidden to derive any benefit from it. If someone eats an olive's amount of Chametz on Pesach, if deliberately he would deserve kares, if unwittingly he should have to bring a chatas, a sin offering. It is all one whether a person eats it or dissolves it and drinks it. If someone eats less than an olive's amount, he should be given whiplashes of disobedience. Whiplash of disobedience is a cue to tell you that it's a rabbinic commandment. We'll come back to this shortly. It is enforced everywhere and every time for both man and woman. Number 5, it is a negative commandment to eat no mixture with chametz on Passover. Scripture says, you shall eat nothing leavened, whether it became mingled with its own kind of food or mingled with something not of its kind. If there is an olive's amount in a quantity of food that can be eaten in the same time as half a loaf of bread, this prohibition is violated, but there would be no punishment of kares. If there is not an olive's amount in a quantity of food that can be eaten in the time of half a loaf, he who eats it should be beaten with whiplashes of disobedience, which also again tells you that it is rabbinic. It is in effect everywhere and every time for both man and woman. So there's a bit more here than meets the eye. What's worth really pointing out from these two mitzvos are the fact that when you are dealing with less than a kazayas, less than an olive's bulk, when you're dealing with less than the minimum amount to violate something, you are dealing only with a rabbinic commandment. The exception is Yom Kippur. But you're dealing only with a rabbinic commandment. That becomes important when it's a rabbinic commandment because in circumstances where a person must eat, we want them to eat in a fashion which is only rabbinically prohibited. So in this case, that would be less than an olive's bulk, or if it's a mixture, less than an olive's bulk in the amount of time it takes to eat half a loaf of bread, which is basically 9 minutes. Whatever the technicalities are, if you're up against a situation, call your local rabbi and he'll tell you what to do in the situation. But this is how in the when it comes to Yom Kippur, people are told if they have to eat, like less than less than 2 ounces in 9 minutes kind of thing. Whatever the precise numbers are, I don't recall right now. But the point is that you want to make it into a rabbinic prohibition. So even though you have to eat on Yom Kippur, if you can eat in a small piece-by-piece fashion, that is considered certainly better. And that's the case really when it comes to any prohibition. If you can make it into a rabbinic prohibition, that's certainly better to do so than to violate, obviously, a Torah prohibition. Okay, next time we're going to talk about the negative commandment to do no work on the Sabbath and kind of what that means and what it means in terms of Torah law and rabbinic law. That'll be next time. Thanks. Bye.